Hi, welcome to my channel, Takoyaki Charo. Today is June 24th, Monday, 2024. So my last video, yeah, I did do a video yesterday. So my last video was yesterday. Alright, so before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, it gives you clarity grids. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. Alright, so I'm gonna start pulling cards, but I gotta like I had some very interesting dreams last night. I mean, technically it was like one long dream, but it's just like, so like the scenes that I talk about in my dreams, those are just like scenes of like one long dream. But I had this, I remember I was like, all right. And then one part of my dream, I was like, first of all, I was like by the boardwalk and things like that, right? But I was standing in front of a glass window, and on the other side of the glass window was like a little river flowing, and in the river there were all these golden fish, like goldfish. There were a bunch of goldfishes, right? And there are so many of them. And there was also, what is the difference? I think an alligator, but it was like a babe, like a, it hasn't been fully matured yet as an adult, but it was like not a baby either, right? But the goldfishes, they were like swimming, you know, following the stream, and I remember I was looking at them and I was waving to them, and they waved back at me with like their little fins, and like the way their little fins looked, it was like the way fish fins looks in Dr. Seuss's books. Like, you know how he draws like those fishes and like their fins are like pointy and flowy? It was like that. And I remember, hold on. Alright, I'm back. She's fine. She's like watching the second Little Mermaid. And she was upset because they were making fun of the other penguins. But what was I saying? Right, the dreams about the goldfishes. So yeah, I was like waving at them, and like they were waving at me. I thought it was like the cutest thing ever. And there were all kinds of sizes too. There were like big sizes and like little ones, but like the really big ones are the ones that were like waving to me, and I was waving back. And like the alligator that I mentioned, I waved to the alligator. I'm like, let me see if he'll wave. And I waved to the alligator, and the alligator like literally turned towards me, looked at me, was like, but yeah. So I thought that was like really, really cute. So if you see goldfishes in your dreams, that represents like transformation, ability to adapt, and like travel, growth, expansion, things like that. Because also the fishes were following the flow of the stream as well, right? So alright. Oh, I have my cheese here. Alright. Alright, let me see how quick I can make this reading. But we'll see what happens. Thank you to whoever's watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. I appreciate that. Mars, energize, confront, force yourself to. That's also Aries and Scorpio energy, because I know Aries and Scorpio, they're ruled by the planet of Mars, but Pluto is also part of Scorpio's planet. So we have energize, confront, force yourself to. So I feel like you have a lot of energy right now. You're very energetic. You could also, it's not like movement. That's what I was getting. Movement, a lot of wands energy. All right, so you have a lot of energy that you can use towards like whatever you want to take action towards, whatever you want to put movement on, right? I feel like with confront, because now I'm seeing the one dream that I had where I had breathed life into the sick baby, and like, so there's like a trigger warning, right? In that dream there was like a baby in the trash can, and it was like abandoned, and it was like sick, and it was like about to like not make it. So I picked it up from the trash can and I breathed life into its mouth, like, and all the color went back into its skin, and its eyes like became wide again, and blah blah. That symbolizes dusting off like an old project, all right? Bringing something back to life in a sense, like something that you have put down, like a project, a job, an idea, whatever it is, right? So I feel like that's where the confront comes in from. Let me show you the card. See, energize, confront, force yourself to. And these are all in red. So these are things that you're actively doing right now. So I feel like with confront, you're finally like taking movement on projects or ideas or whatever it is that you have put down for a time being or for a while. You're taking action to bring it back to life, right? And it says force yourself to. So these are things that you're like, I'm gonna do it. Like, it's like you're telling yourself, like, you know how like when your alarm clock rings in the morning because you have to go to work or whatever the case it is, right? And you're like, oh, I don't want to go to work, but you do it anyways, right? You wake up, you brush your teeth, you shower, you get dressed, you do whatever you got to do, and then you go to work, right? You may not want to, but you're doing it anyways, right? And I feel like you're finally taking movement towards something that you may have put down in the past, like confronting this thing. And I don't know, I feel like with confront, maybe you just didn't feel like it was necessary, or it wasn't going to go anywhere, or there was no point in applying for that job or picking up that project or whatever the case it is. Like, you just didn't have a desire to, maybe. But I feel like with confronts, now you're going back to it, you're facing it head on, and you're forcing yourself to do this. A lot of movement, a lot of wands energy, right? There's also something about like there's also something very impulsive about this energy, but not in a bad way. It's kind of like if you have like a bout of motivation, you're utilizing it instead of just wasting it, right? Instead of just like some people have like a spark of creativity at like the most random times, and instead of just like letting it fly by, you're rolling with it, right? You're letting it flow, and you're like, oh, okay, let me use this right now. So that's great. I also feel like with the fishes flowing down the stream, because it also talks about like a need for expression. I think is that what that said? A need for expression, or a need to like travel or like adventure, or a need to like express yourself. Whatever it is, it's basically you needing to do something, taking action on something, right? Energize, confront, force yourself to. I feel like this is pretty good though, for the most part. This is a good reading. I feel like you being in this energy is overpowering many things around you. And I'm not trying to be that, I don't mean that in like in a conquering kind of way, right? This is mine, this is mine, this is mine. I mean, like, you're marching down a path and like you don't care what's in your way. Yes, my love. Hold on. I'm gonna get one more and then I'm gonna change the decks. Okay, I'm just gonna change it. False person in reverse. That's you. So somebody could be saying that like you're doing too much, or you were never like this, or you're being fake, or whatever the case it is, right? But the reality of the situation is you're literally stepping in your power and conquering your path, doing what you're supposed to be doing, walking in your purpose, like not letting whatever make you doubt or question what you should be doing or what you even want to do, right? I feel like this could have been the same. All right, so this is somewhat a continuation of yesterday's reading, but more for, so I feel like yesterday's reading was more for like that karmic woman, right? That older woman who like really wanted to paint a narrative or a story about you, right? So this is where you come in. This is now you're more of your reading collective today, because I feel like whatever this person is saying about you, whatever's going on, you're actually a real person. You're not a false person. You're a real person, right? It's just that your ability to step into your power and all this energy you have and all this movement that you have and all this motivation that you have, it's very intimidating, because you allowing that to flow through you and not letting anybody else like tell you what to do or what job to apply for or what project to pick up or what hobbies to have, whatever the case it is, or like who to be friends with or who to date with. You're not letting anybody or anything stop you from being on your path, and that could be very intimidating to people who are afraid of even thinking of like maybe they could do this project, or maybe if they thought about that relationship. It intimidates people who are afraid to even think about dreams and hopes and wishes. All right, so when you're actively trying to live out, actively right now, live out your dreams, hopes, and wishes, and I just saw 1404, and you're actively doing that, and you're not letting anybody or anything, like you don't give a flying F what anybody thinks. You don't care. What do you have to be afraid of? And I said this in my reading yesterday. What do you have to be afraid of? What do you have to be afraid of? For you to not walk into your power, for you to not be able to like follow your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Like, what is the worst that can happen? Right? If you apply for that job, you get rejected. Okay, this is not the end of the world. The world is still spinning, right? Like, so I feel like this is very intimidating to this person or even a group of people around you that was hoping, because they're too afraid. Maybe you too would be afraid, right? And it's like, I don't know. I don't want to get into that, all right? Because then I'm going to like divert from the reading, and I don't want to do that. But so yeah, basically overall, you're just not a false person, and you being in this power can be intimidating, and it's like, how can you break down and bring down someone who's so confident in their path? You can't, right? So what's the next best thing to do? Oh, they're mad fake, or they're doing too much, or they're this, or they're that, they were never like that before, or blah, 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 right? I shared something on my social media recently. Let me go get it, hold on. Alright. Wait, that's not that one. This is it. It says, in quotation marks, this is where like the other people would be talking, and it says, you're so full of yourself. But then the response is, no, I had a lot of insecurities and low self-esteem. I worked extremely hard to overcome, and now I'm fabulous. Bye. Right? I just saw 155. And I feel like that's just what's going on here, right? So like, if you have low self-esteem and you're insecure and you're afraid and you're shy and you're in your shell and you're an introvert, people like that, right? People who want to, people who see your potential and what you can create and what you're capable of and blah, 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 they don't want you to show off and pop out. They don't want that. They want you to be hidden, right? Because it's like, if you are stepping in your power and conquering everything in your path, you don't care who's in your path and what's in your path. You're going to get rid of it. That's including them, and not just that too, but I feel like that also, that's not something that they can compete with, right? If you have like 10 dreams and 10 goals and 10 hopes and you have the ability to achieve them all and it shows, you're just not doing it. And these people have trouble even accomplishing or achieving one goal or one dream or a fraction of one goal or one dream, right? Of course, they're not going to want to see you achieve everything that you can, because it's easy for you. So in their mind, they're like, oh, they're doing too much, they're fake this, blah, 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 right? It's all of that. But the reality of the situation is, no, you've been this all along, you just weren't doing anything about it, right? You ever hear growing up, you have so much potential if only you apply, like I used to hear that all the time from my teachers, you have so much potential if only you applied yourself, right? But before, I didn't care to. I'm just like, okay, thanks, I don't feel like it, I don't care, right? But now I do care. Now I want to apply myself. Now I feel like putting in the effort, right? So when people see you, they're like, oh, they were never like that. No, that's not the case. It's just, you never applied yourself. But now that you are, it's like, oh, they're different. Do you see what I'm saying? I hope that's making sense, because it's like, it was always there in you. Everybody knew it. You knew it. But now it's a problem because you're actively acting upon that ability, those tools, right? Those things that you were given, those gifts by the Most High. You're actively acting on it. And it's a problem because that's not something that they can compete with. I think I'm done with this. Yeah, that's it. This is going to be a quick reading, because it's pretty simple what's coming out. Now let me move on to tarot. I used to hear that all the time. If only you just applied yourself, you know, you could do, and I'm just like, okay, thanks. I used to hear that so much, like I would avoid certain teachers and just like, I already know, I just don't want to do it, right? But like, now that you want to do it, right, it's like, whoa, where did that come from? Where the collective actually, whoa, like, yeah, I should have been doing this, but I just right, well, like insecurities and self-doubt and shit like that. Of course you're not going to want to step into your power. And like the Magician reverse. So this, I feel like this is going two ways. I feel like the Magician reverse, you were not using, hold on, let me check on her. Alright, so yeah, what was I saying? The Magician reverse. I feel like that goes two ways. I feel like that could have been you not utilizing the tools and the resources that were given to you, that you already had within you. You were not utilizing them, and like, it's like God is like, I'm giving you everything. All you have to do is just like, you have all the ingredients, just put it in a pot and bake it, right? But you're just like, nah, I don't feel like baking. I don't feel like cooking right now. I don't feel like it. I'm just gonna do something else instead. I'm just gonna, right? I feel like it was like that. And it's funny to think about, because it's like, that's very lazy, right? It is, right? And I also feel like with the Magician reverse, that's the other party. That would be that mature woman that was around you, deliberately making sure that you would not have the energy, like you wouldn't feel, I just don't feel like it, right? And it's like they were deliberately doing dark magic, black magic with the Magician reverse to like they were using all of their resources to make sure, and their tools to make sure that you wouldn't tap into your resources and your tools and your abilities and your gifts. It's like they were making sure that you would be so apathetic, right? To the point where you would just be so lazy, you would let all of that go to waste. All of those potentials, those opportunities, those gifts, those whatever, you would just let it go to waste. You would just let it sit there and rot, and it would just nothing. You would do nothing with your life, with yourself, with your gifts, right? And I feel like that was the whole purpose, right? So if this was the mature woman from yesterday's reading who saw this in you, she cannot compete with that. With you stepping in your true power and conquering everything in your path, she cannot compete with that. So of course she wants to make sure that you would not step into your power, that you would be too lazy, you would be apathetic, you just wouldn't care, you wouldn't have the energy, right? With Energize being the first one on the top, you wouldn't have the energy, you wouldn't want to pick up any projects, any hobbies, any applications. You wouldn't want to talk to that man, or you wouldn't want to talk to that woman, or you wouldn't want to befriend that group, whatever it is, right? And force yourself to. These are things that, like, you just, I don't care to. I feel like that's really the thing here. Like, you just, and there was a narrative, right? I think that was the narrative. That the collective is lazy, they just don't apply themselves, they don't want to, they don't do anything, they don't have responsibilities, they don't know what they're doing, they don't have any direction. That was the narrative. But here you are, banging things out left and right, you've got all these projects, you got all these hobbies, you got all these jobs, you got all these friends, you got all these groups, you're doing this, you're doing that. So where's the laziness coming from? Because if people are looking at the collective, they can clearly see that you're on the go, you're energized, you're taking movement, you're taking action, you're doing this, you're doing that, right? So that's what's making that woman anxious, because if she was saying you're not being the magician upright, you're actually the magician in reverse, you're not doing anything, come to find out, but they're just not checking things off the box, right? There's a whole list that they're constantly checking off every day, all the time. So anyways, let's move on. I feel like somebody wanted to be seen as the busybody, the go-getter, the achievement, the one who's like doing this and doing that, and like, oh my gosh, you're doing so much, you've got a lot going on, like, you know, let's give you praise, let's give you accolades. Somebody wanted to be seen as that, because compared to you, like if you really popped out and you showed off, this person, they're just like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. But you standing in your power. She's calling me, hold on. So I feel like that, what was I saying? I feel like that's what's like been going on. I also feel like this person is jealous of everything that you hold within you, right? Because they don't even have like a fraction of that. It's like your skills and your talents surpass an average person, and this would be an average person trying to compare themselves to a star. Like, I also feel like this person is like secretly your fan, but they wanted to be in your shoes. They wanted to be the star. So they made sure that you would not ever feel like getting on stage, right? They can't stop you from going on stage. They can't block you from going on stage. But they can certainly do things behind the scenes to make you not want to go on stage. I don't feel like it, or I'm so shy, or I just this, or just it's not today, not to. You're right, and it's like whoever this person was, they were like feeding off that. Like, you see, I told you they wouldn't do that, or I told you. You see, they never do this, they never do that. I told you, and it's like this person lives on I told yous, right? I told you this would happen. I told you. See, I say this all the time. I told you, right? And it's just like, but the I told yous revolve around you. I told you the collective will never do this. I told you the collective can't do this. I told you the collective, right? And it's just like, I'm not gonna get into that though, because it's basically going back to like this person needs to talk about you, right? It's like they need to prove a point when it comes to you, right? Bless you. This person wants to be able to surpass you, but unfortunately for them, it's not, there's no competition. You cannot compete where you cannot compare, and this person knows that they cannot compare themselves to you if you are standing in your rightful power path. Like, I don't get it. You can know who this person is too. The Hanged Man on the fence on top of false person reverse. This person wanted you to make you feel stuck in believing in yourself, and that's really where it comes down to, because if you're believing in yourself and you're confident and you know you can do this and you know you can do that and you can do whatever you want, nothing is going to stop you from walking down the path that you want to walk down, right? This is Pisces energy. One thing I love about Pisces is that their mottos is I believe. And all right, forgive me Pisceans for saying this, but whether a Pisces is wrong or right, they will stand on it to the very last breath. They will believe it to the very last breath, right? If a Pisces truly believes in something, they're going to stand on it no matter what. And I feel like this energy that was being thrown at you was to make sure that you would not believe in yourself. Like, it's like, I don't feel like it. And it really comes down to, like, would it even be worth it? What's going to happen? Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get rejected or this or that. Like, that's really what it comes down to. But it's like they were really messing with your self-belief, right? Your insecurities, the way you love yourself, blah, blah. And I just saw 2722. So I feel like that's where a lot of the magic was coming from. You didn't believe yourself enough to try. Right? And I feel like now that that's changed, they could also still be trying to do magic to keep this from like, bless you, to keep this from like changing, from having you believe in yourself. But I feel like you're I don't know, energized, you're too active, you're too confident. So I feel like with the Mars energy, that's Aries energy. One thing I like about Aries energy is that when an Aries puts their mind to something, nothing is going to stop them, right? Like if they're going to want to go to the store, rain, sunshine, snow, they're going to go to the store. And I feel like this is where your energy is at right now, right? It's like you've got your armor and clad on and you're ready to go to war. You're ready to go down that path. You're ready to sweep everything off. Like if that's in your way, it's out. Nothing's going to stop you. So I feel like right now it's very, very hard for this woman to do this magician with the magician reverses dark magic. I feel like it's very hard for this woman to do this magic to keep you from like believing in yourself. And it's getting harder and harder every day. And it's like, I also feel like with the magician in reverse, she's losing the ability to do so every second by second. It's like something is weakening. Her sense of hope is diminishing. You're getting stronger. You're getting more powerful. Right? It's like the higher you go, the lower she gets. And it's like as above, so below. Like I feel like this woman was trying to do so much that way because she cannot compete. Excuse me. She cannot. Standing next to you, she's like a rock, and you're like this beautiful, bright, shining diamond. And I don't know. It just really messed with her. It got to her. You got the Hermit reverse and Death in reverse. This is not... Whoever this person is, this woman, she's not going to stop doing this. I'll tell you that right now. She's not going to stop. She's not going to stop trying to get you to, like... I don't know, she just doesn't want you to believe in yourself. She doesn't want you to achieve anything and be in your path and be that star and have energy and love yourself and be confident. She doesn't want that. And it's because if you are standing in your power, she cannot compete with that. Also, excuse me. Also, with the Hermit in reverse, she's refusing to see something. Hold on. She's refusing to see that this is not working. She's gonna keep doing this. Magician reverse, the Hermit reverse, and Death reverse. We've got Pisces, Scorpio, Virgo, a Magician. What is a Magician? Hold on. Gemini, Virgo. So, I also feel like something that's not working, if her magic lies with words, whatever she's trying to communicate about you is not working. Yo, whoever this person is, they have a really big problem with gossip. Gossip, lying, slander. People go to, like, court, like, for this shit, because that's... You can sue people for defamation of character. Like, you're talking bad about me in my life, I could sue you for that. And I'm only laughing because whoever this person is, like, they just don't... I don't know, like, they don't think there's no legalities to this situation. Like, they can't get... There's, like, no repercussions for them. And I don't think they're getting that, because with their Hermit reverse, this is someone who, like, doesn't want to look at themselves and doesn't want to see that what they're doing, not only is it not working, but it's, like, weakening, too. It's, like, it's just not giving what you thought it was going to be giving still at this point. It's just not. Your lies are weakening, your magic is weakening, your tactics are weakening, your tricks are weakening. It's literally not affecting you, collective. It's not doing anything. If anything, I feel like it's just... So, if you're feeling this, you ever see... Okay, this is the best way I can put it. There was this one scene in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, I think it was, or... No, it was... Harry Potter... Oh, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is the 5th movie, right? And in the ending of the movie, there was like a battle scene with... They were all in the Ministry of Magic, right? They were all in there. And there was like a big fight scene with Dumbledore's army and the Death Eaters and blah, blah, blah. And then it became like a one-on-one battle scene with Dumbledore and Voldemort. And there was this one scene, and this is exactly what this is giving me, especially with how the cards are laid out. Like, this is this person right here, and then this is you right here, collective. So, and I can't, for the longest of time that I've been doing my readings, every time I pick up on the story, I'm always talking about how there's like a barrier, right? So you could be very, very skilled at alchemizing. So there's this one scene, you should watch the movie, because you'll know, if you see this, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's this one scene where Voldemort and Voldemort and Dumbledore, they were fighting, right? They were like, with magic, they were like using their wands and shit like that. And it was a good battle, right? It was just like really, really good. There was this one scene where like all the glass had shattered because of the magic that they were like flipping back and forth. All the glass had shattered, and Voldemort started doing magic, right? He lifted up his wand, he used all his magic, all his might to pick up every piece of glass that had fallen inside of the Ministry of Magic, and he was going to aim it, all of that glass, directly at Dumbledore, right? And it was all like a big, it was just like sharp glass after sharp glass, right? And it was going right directly at Dumbledore. Dumbledore did this thing, right? It was like he created like a barrier around him. So when all the glass passed through that barrier, it turned to sand. So I feel like that's when you feel this happening, you just alchemize it. You just turn it into something else. That's literally what that magic was. That was literally alchemy, right? And the thing is too, I feel like you're turning something back to its original form. So if this person is trying to change you into something you're not, it's just empowering you to change back and to like actually step into your original form, your original power, who you really are. Because glass is just melted sand. That's what that is, right? And when like lightning strikes. So you ever see? I've seen so many documentaries and things like this. Like when the lightning strikes, hits the beach, right? That's got to be like a certain temperature, and so people actually go out to the beach and they dig up where the lightning hit the sand, and they can dig up all these creative, cool, amazing sculptures that are shaped like a lightning bolt. Because what happened is when the lightning struck the sand, it like melted all that sand around, and they can dig it up, and like it's like a physical representation of what the lightning looked like when it struck the sand, right? So I feel like the more this person does that, the more you're just alchemizing that energy and utilizing it for yourself to go back to who you really are supposed to be. Does that make sense? All right. So that's what that is. That's what's going on. And this person doesn't get it because if anything, it's just like you're just giving me back my energy that you had already took from me. You're just giving it back to me. So thank you. Right? And I feel like if this was the parasite that was feeding off of you, I feel like the faster that they're bless you. So if they were taking energy after energy after energy for like years, if this was an ongoing thing for years, right? The more you step into your power, the easier it is and the faster it is for you to alchemize your energy. So if this person is getting sick and weak and anxious and angry and whatever the case it is because they don't have your energy to feed off of. And whatever magic that they were using they could have even been using your own magic and your own energy to use against you. You're just giving me what's mine. Right? And if you're giving me your energy to attack me, I'm just going to use that too. Because energy is energy. There's no kind of energy that you cannot alchemize, right? I mean, honestly, at this point, alright, let me get like 2 more and then I'm going to close the reading. Or like 1 more, actually. Hi, baby. Let me see.
Careful.
I will be careful, my angel. Hold on. Alright. She needed help with like one of her games. So alright, let me get like 2 more, I guess. Or 1 more. I'll get 1 more. And then I'm gonna close the reading. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Whatever this person, first of all, okay. Hold on. Alright. With the Page of Pentacles in reverse and the Magician in reverse, they're definitely doing something dark behind the scenes. And it has to do with knowledge. Like they could be always trying to like look up some dark knowledge or dark spell work or dark way, or like trying to figure out like what other ways they can. I feel like this woman is also trying to figure out like what other ways they can mess up your stability, or what other ways can they block you, or what other way. But it's always like they're always in the habit of like trying to figure out what ways they can block you and dismantle you. Okay, it's Pentacles also talk about, it's not just like about finances, it also talks about like knowledge and resources and things like that. But I feel like with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, they're also trying to figure out what other ways they can block you, what other ways, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is that the more that they do this, the more they're just wasting their energy, right? The more that they're wasting their time, their efforts, their money. They've wasted a lot of time doing this too. And it's like they're wasting all of this and they don't want to like go within and figure themselves out. And I don't know, this person, this is somebody who they don't even want to deal with themselves. That's very sad. You don't care about this. Why would you? 454, this has nothing to do with you. I also feel like this person was trying to figure out ways how to mirror you. But the more that they try to do this, the more it just shows like, yeah, you're not even close to the collective. You have like, right? So this person was trying to mirror you, trying to figure out how to mirror you, but it's just like, it's not giving what you think it's giving, right? I don't know, but what a waste. This person wasted time, effort, energy, magic, skills, resources, and they don't want to, with the Death reverse, they don't want to change, they don't want to end this, they don't want to stop doing this, they would rather keep doing dark magic and gossiping and slander and lying than ever to admit themselves that it's them who, they don't like themselves. They don't like who they are. They don't want to deal with who they are. They don't want to be who they are. They would rather be you, or be like seen as because of you, or they would rather be seen as, I don't know, it's really something deeply, deeply rooted within themselves. They just don't like it. I'm telling you, and I know this is going to be really messed up to say, but I'm going to say it again. They don't even want to deal with themselves. They don't. It's like they see themselves as like a nuisance or like a problem, or like they don't know what to do with themselves, with their energy, with their time. They don't know their purpose. They don't have any ideas. They don't have any plans, blah, 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 blah. But this is the same person that, here you are, collective, not fake at all. You're real as real can get. You have all the tools. You're stepping in your power, all the energy, all these things that you're working on, that you're doing, that you're involved in, whatever the case it is, that's you. And on top of that, this Mars energy, it's like you're not letting anything, and I feel like there's a hint of aggression only because it's like you're not letting anything stop you. Where you are, you're not letting anything stop you. And if this person keeps doing that, it's just making you not want to, like, if you're not gonna stop, okay. But the more energy you throw at me, the more I'm just going to alchemize it and use it to my betterment. So that's okay. You're not going to stop doing this dark magic on me. I'm not going to stop alchemizing. Realistically, it's a win-win for me. You know? Winning for me because I get to pursue my goals, wishes, and dreams. Winning for me again because you're giving me extra energy that I could have used years ago. So thank you. You know? That's great. So with that being said, I do think that this is a great reading all around. I don't know, this is one of my favorite readings. So if you need a personal reading, email me, all that good stuff, blah blah blah. Thanks for commenting. 444, I've been seeing a lot of 444s. You're protected no matter what. Submit yourselves then to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. James 4:7. That's the first one on the top of the deck. But there's also someone coming in for you. It says a friend is always loyal and a brother is born to help in time of need. Proverbs 17:17. So yeah, there's someone coming in for you. There's also someone hidden between the two of you. They can see what this person is doing, and then they see you doing what you're doing. All right, but I'm not going to get into that because this reading is not really about all that extra. But anyways, thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks for helping me grow my channel. And you're all very appreciated. So thanks. Bye.